Hey, busted babies. I hope you guys can hear me well. Tis I, Adina, and welcome to Beyond the Veil. As you guys might hear, I am on the farm, and we are going to do a little quick reading to my subscribers who sent me their names and their birthdays yesterday to partake in our prosperity and abundance celebration. I just finished and I recorded some of it, so a little bit later when I get home and get settled in, I am going to edit it, and then I will email it so you guys can see what I did today for us all. All right, so I just grabbed my cards. I have no idea what I'm gonna read on right now. I'm looking for my cup. Let me take a little swig. But there's so much we could read on. Last night, I actually read Britney Spears, and I said I wasn't gonna post my reading on her because I didn't quite get a good feel on her. I didn't think I did, but I posted it anyways. And I would like to redo Britney, but I'm gonna ring my bell and see who would like me to peek in their business. Just had my bell. I'm sorry, you guys. I am not prepared. I wasn't prepared to hop on camera. I just did. All right. And let me light some incense. This isn't my reading incense, but how are you guys today? It's Thursday. It's the day of Jupiter. I hope all of you are well. If you are watching for the first time and you are not subscribed, please do so, because we are the shit over here in Beyond the Veil. And blessings rain down on all of us, my subscribers as well. I speak blessings and prosperity to all of you. Every single one of you who is watching this video right now, I speak blessings and prosperity and abundance to you tenfold. May your cup runneth over to everyone around you. May your cup runneth over. Promotions, new jobs, increase, new clients, new customers, new business, new houses, new cars, paid off debts. I speak it all to you. Grab it, claim it. It is Thursday, the day of Jupiter, the day of abundance, the day of joy. I speak joy. I speak jolliness. I speak love and peace. Increased spirituality, increased intuition on all of you. Gosh. All right. I'm going to read Whitney Houston. That's what I'm going to read. I read Bobby Christina because Whitney Houston wanted me to read Bobby Christina before. But now I'm going to give Whitney a voice since she came up in some of my readings yesterday as it relates to Clive Davis and Brandy. Whitney Houston. If I should stay, I would only be so I hope that I know I'll think of you every step of. Come on, y'all, finish it. All right, because Whitney will always love you. To her fans, to the people that loved her, Whitney loves you back. This is the same energy when she came to bring me Bobby Christina. This is definitely a Leo, a highly evolved, high vibration Leo, regardless of the things that she struggled with here on earth, like addiction, this is a high vibratory woman, which is why her voice sounded so good, because she vibrated. The vibrato in her voice was just an expression of the vibrations that she was and that she still is. A force to be reckoned with. Whitney says, I want my justice too. Me too. While everybody else is getting their justice, I want my just due. Me too. That's what Whitney says. Whitney Houston, would you like to speak to us about the events surrounding your death? About the weekend that your life was taken, 2012 Grammy weekend. It was a Clive event, the 2012 Grammys. It was Clive's event, the 2012 Grammys. Isn't Clive Davis on the Grammy board or something like that? All right, Whitney Houston, talk to me about the weekend of your death and the events surrounding your death, Whitney Houston. Whitney got into an altercation with someone. I don't know if it was poolside, at a hotel. I see a pool, the outside pool area with the bar. I see the chairs, the umbrellas. I don't know if they were blue or had blue in them. Was it like a upstairs, like a rooftop pool bar? I don't know. All right, Whitney. If I should stay, I would only be in your way. I can actually hit that note if I wanted to, but nobody cared about me. None of them. Whitney has beef with the industry and its inhabitants, celebrities, the stars, our faves. This came out in my Bobby Christina reading. I pulled the oracle card at the end, and Whitney's message was to the people that were there, and that it was time for them to take action, because too many of them, of our beloved celebrities, have been taken by the industry, as Whitney says she was, allegedly. And out of all the people there who claim to love Whitney Houston, claim to love her, this is them, everybody loving, just sending their love to Whitney Houston, the star. None of them loved her that weekend, because none of them did anything, and everyone had the power to. Now, this King of Wands came up in Brittany's reading in her present position when I asked about Clive. This came up in Brandy, I believe. I believe that this is Clive. Now, when I read Bobby Christina, he came out as the King of Cups upright. He came out as the King of Swords upright in different contexts. But when I am speaking about other celebrities, not children, not Bobby Christina, who sees him one way, but when I'm talking about his counterparts, his colleagues, they see him as the King of Wands. Big business, big boss. But for Whitney, he was in reverse. And I keep getting the impression, I was even talking about it with my friend Natasha earlier, Whitney and Clive allegedly were beefing. They were beefing hard, and I think that that was the talk of 2012 Grammy weekend. was what was going on with Whitney and Clive, because Whitney was very vocal about what was going on with her. She was telling people, she was talking to people. I think that's where that altercation came from that I see in my mind, and I believe I heard about. She was going everywhere telling everyone because she was afraid of Clive at that point, and not just afraid, but pissed at him because he had did something to her business wise, did something dirty business wise, because this is the first time I've seen him, and he's come up in the reverse position and he's challenging Whitney. Nobody wanted to do anything that weekend because nobody wanted beef with Clive. In her recent past, I believe that Clive and Co. began stripping Whitney of business opportunities and business. I see that Clive had already decided that Whitney was done. Whitney had decided that she was making a comeback. But those who stood to gain from the business of Whitney Houston had decided that she was done. The decision was made, and once they start removing things, taking things from Whitney, she had all these things lined up, and then all these things, all these gigs, all these jobs lined up, planned for her, because she was coming back. She was coming back, baby. I get the impression she was sober when she passed away, and before she passed away, she wanted to get back. So she cleaned herself up. She may have even tried to stop smoking cigarettes, maybe, because even that was a trigger. But Clive and Co. allegedly decided, no, all those things that you think you're getting ready to do, all those things that we may have even said, we take it back. I think that they wanted to see if Whitney could be profitable again. But her voice had changed. Her voice had been permanently altered by her lifestyle. And that gospel song and the songs that she put out right before she passed wasn't received the way Clive and Co. allegedly needed it to be received. So no. And that is why they had beef. And that is why Whitney knew what was coming, because she knows the Hollywood game, the Hollywood shuffle. In her near future, Whitney became bigger than ever when she passed away. And this is why she passed away, because she became bigger than ever posthumous. The people who stood to gain from Whitney Houston could have never got what they did from Whitney Houston if she kept living and kept making music, because her image, her voice was permanently in the minds of, I have to say this is Clive Davis, allegedly, in the minds of them. They were never going to be able to get the profit off of Whitney alive, moving forward, that they would if she passed away, allegedly, and that is exactly what happened. As above, Whitney knew. Oh, poor Whitney. I would hate to be in this condition in my last 72 hours of my life. I pray that the last years, months, weeks, and days of my life be peaceful, and that I am allowed to release my spirit on my own. And I will. That's what my family does. We live until 90-something, until a very old age, and then we let go when we're ready. Our surname is Young, and that's because we are young, and we live forever. And then we give up our ghosts when we're ready. This, though, is not what Whitney was afforded in the last days of her life, allegedly. Whitney had a lot of things on her mind, a lot of conversations, a lot of conversation, a lot of business, a lot of stress, because she knew. Whitney Houston knew what was coming to her, and she was telling people. She told Brandy. But Brandy was sitting right next to Clive Davis. And I have to empathize with her a little bit because last night when I was reading her, I was a little bit frustrated because I knew she did an interview, but I didn't know who she was interviewing with until I finished the reading and went back and I saw it was with Clive and Monica. So I imagine if she got that note and she knew all the stuff that was going on between Whitney and Clive allegedly, and she got that note and it said they are going to kill me, and she's sitting right next to Clive, she wouldn't know how to react. But I do still think that she felt better telling herself that Whitney was just erratic and high. Because Clive wouldn't. That was Brandy's mind state then, and I think she needed that to be her mind state because he was bringing her back. He was bringing her career back, so she needed him to be a good guy. This, again, is Clive. So below. The driving force of this entire reading. He could not see Whitney being profitable alive. She had to go. Maybe Whitney did take a little toot at some point, knowing that it was all over. Because sometimes this is my drug card, but me thinks though that because it's in reverse, the mind is clear. Whitney was sober. Whitney Houston was sober at the time of her death. Someone close to her came into her room. She allowed them in because this was someone she trusted. Someone she was intimate with in some way. Business, familial, relationship-wise. Could have been Reggie. Could have been Reggie. Could have been Pat, her brother. Came in to talk. Could have been somebody from her team that she knows really well and considers family. This was someone on Whitney's side that she would have had her guards down with that came into her room, knocked on her door, offered her something that she did not take. Now, I feel in my spirit that it was Ray J, allegedly. I feel that so intensely in my spirit because I hear his name, Ray J, Ray J, Ray J, allegedly. Offered her something that she did not want to take. And I see refusing not to take it, getting into a little argument with allegedly Ray J. Ray J walking out of the room, knowing that there were people waiting outside to come in because the plan was for Whitney to be high and unconscious. But Whitney turned it down, and I think they got into it because he kept trying to get her to take it, and she kept trying to refuse and ask him to leave. And at first he wouldn't. They got into it. It was loud. It was messy. People heard. People heard. The men were waiting to come in and finish the job once Red J had her sedated, allegedly. Red J walked out. Whitney was preparing to close the door behind him and lock it. The gentlemen, I see two, pushed their way in. A scuffle allegedly ensued. Whitney was held down on a bed, I see. Something was forced into her mouth as she struggled. Something was forced. Whatever they were trying to get her to take that she wouldn't, it was forced into her mouth. Now, I don't know if she was drugged into the bathroom or if she got free because she was choking, ran into the bathroom, choking, spit up. I think the gentleman followed her in there. I think that Whitney was preparing to take a shower or bathe when she got that knock on her door, which is why the tub Either the shower was running, I think the shower was running, or the tub was running already. I see water overflowing from the tub. The floor was wet. I see Pat allegedly coming in, looking at the mess that was made and saying, you got to clean this up. You got to clean this up. Allegedly. Someone went when they came in to check on things, because a few people came in before anyone was alerted to see how things went, to make sure things went well, before they went back and told Clive that the job was done. Someone came in to check and see, left, and reported back to Clive, and he was allegedly pissed because it was messy. But at least it was done. And at least it was being handled and taken care of. And those parties left the room, went out, and alerted someone as if they had just walked in and found her that way. Allegedly, for entertainment purposes. I'm crazy. I'm reading picture cards. I just smoked a little bit of weed. And you know how that goes with crazy people. 10 of Cups, reversed. Nobody wanted to be involved in Whitney and Clive's and whoever else's mess. She got into it with a woman. I think that story came out that weekend, and now I can't seem to find it anywhere, but she got into it with a woman because this is someone that she really thought would help her, and this person wouldn't help her. This is someone that I think Whitney thought was a friend, and this person knew what was going to happen to Whitney and was okay with it. They coveted Whitney's position, her life. This is someone in the industry, someone that she found out was not her friend because she went to them for help about Clive after they got into it about some money, and this person flat out denied something, flat out denied that it was happening, flat out denied that Clive would do something like that, and flat out denied doing anything about it. This person was in cahoots with Clive because they came out as the Queen of Wands reverse, and I think crossing Whitney is the King of Wands reverse, who I think is Clive, or it could be her brother, allegedly, and her sister-in-law. Let me see. King of Wands reversed. Strength. Page of Pentacles reversed. The Sun. I see some kind of altercation here. I see some kind of altercation here between Whitney, a woman, and a gentleman. This person and this woman, this man and this woman was in a relationship. He didn't want the woman to get involved, I think. They stood to gain. I think this is Whitney's brother and her sister-in-law, but I don't know. I have no idea. It could be someone else. Could be someone else. Somebody knew what was going to happen with Whitney. They knew that the money would be passed down to her daughter when she passed away, and that they would get access to the child and the money. I get the impression that this is Whitney's brother and her sister-in-law, allegedly. Allegedly. Where do I want to go next? Let me look at the past. 10 of Wands in reverse. Absolutely, there were things that Whitney had been planning to, contracts that she had signed or was preparing to sign, that all of a sudden start going away. Everything was planned out and okay, running smoothly. But then someone got in the ear of these people behind Whitney's back and start blocking her opportunities. They put out the order that no one is going to be able to work with Whitney. Coming up, Whitney won't be around, so don't worry about the money that you're going to lose from these opportunities. You will get your money back coming up soon. Now, I don't know if those involved parties that hired Whitney knew exactly what that meant. Some may have, some didn't, because some of them understand how the game goes. So when that word is put out by Clive and Co., a lot of those companies knew what was coming up, and they were with the shits because they knew that they all stood to gain tremendously in the near future. That weekend, because I think this is my Grammys card. Became the most viewed and beloved Grammy weekend because of what happened. And because of what happened that weekend, that Grammy weekend, Whitney Houston made all involved parties filthy fucking rich. All they had to do was wait a little bit. Whatever money you think you are getting ready to lose because we said no deals with Whitney, don't worry about it. The checks are coming. This is so sad because Whitney was telling people. And they was kind of just shying away. They were so scared themselves. Let me look at the final. No, I want to look at the lovers. Who knocked on her door? Someone younger than her. The fool. Someone young, carefree, fun, adventurous, has their life ahead of them, according to Whitney. Methinks this is Ray J. The lovers. That's what I'm clarifying. He came in there with ill intentions. Sorry, somebody's trying to call me. He came in there with ill intentions, with his bag of things, his bag of goodies, knowing good and well Whitney was clean and sober and was trying to get herself together, but he was sent there with his bag of goodies and ill intentions. Ray J was sent there by Clive, allegedly. And methinks in my reading with Brandy, when I said that after that interview was over and Whitney left, she got into it allegedly with Ray J. It was because she read that note and she confronted him about his dealings there that weekend with Whitney. Ray J was allegedly sent to Whitney's room by Clive to give her things, and two men were also waiting outside the door this was not supposed to, it was supposed to go smoothly without a fight. Clive was pissed. The men were pissed outside the room because Ray J was in there arguing with Whitney because she wouldn't take it. Now they knew something drastic had to happen in order to complete the mission. Let me look at this Emperor. Something didn't go as planned because Whitney wouldn't take drugs. 5 of Wands in reverse. When Ray J left out of the room, he left out of that room heartbroken, and maybe, just maybe, he is the one who reported back to Clive or went to, I think, Pat. went to a woman in charge. There were a few people in the hallway lingering. I see Pat coming in and telling them that they need to come in there and clean up all that water and finish. Like, something needs to be cleaned up and finished, because things didn't go as planned. Ray J walked out of there. I'm not gonna lie, he walked out of there sad, knowing what was becoming of her. Even though you went in there to do a job, I think Ray J went and told Pat that something in there wasn't right. She said, go back in there. They have to go back in there and finish it, I think before Clive's party starts or something like that. There was like a sacrificial element because of the energy from people finding out that Whitney had passed away and still carrying on with that party. There was something ritualistic about that night. It was like Clive had to be the master of ceremony that night and capture the essence, the energy of her while it was still lingering, in order for him to be able to get her money. Wheel of Fortune in reverse, final outcome. The money. The world. The tower. Behind the Wheel of Fortune in reverse. The rest is history, because that money went to Bobby Christina per Whitney's will, and then the next plan ensued for Bobby Christina. The next plan ensued for Bobby Christina's death, allegedly. Justice reversed, allegedly. Me thinks that this is the reason why she went to live with her Auntie Pat, so that she can keep a watchful eye on her and make sure that she didn't blow all the money before they got a chance to get. This is my sacrifice card too. Bobby Christina. Hidden plans to get rid of her for the money. The money Whitney had to go. Bobby had to go, and now the money can go to the people who wanted it in the first place, allegedly. Allegedly. And that is my Whitney reading. I probably won't do another reading today, because that was a lot for me. And just like I did with Bobby Christina, I think I want to get an oracle for Whitney too. In closing, Whitney, is there anything that you would like to say to the people in closing through the oracles? My stomach growled because I's hungry. All right, Whitney. Speak through these oracles, please, in closing. A message that you would like the world to hear. Scream loud, lioness, with your strong and boisterous voice. Shake the heavens and tremble the earth. Your dreams need a practical plan. Full moon in Taurus. I'm a Taurus ascendant. Expect powerful change. I almost feel like that is for me. I would like to claim it. I would like to think that this message is from Whitney for me. And even if it ain't, I'll claim it. But let me get an extra card to see exactly what she means. Your dreams need a practical plan. Full moon in Taurus. Now, Taurus is ruled by Venus, and the luxury, celebrity, opulent, musical lifestyle falls under Venus, as do the arts, as do talents, as do riches and opulence and luxury and bright lights and glam and glitz. Your dreams need a practical plan. Three of Cups in reversed. All right, elaborate a little bit, Whitney. I don't get what you mean with this Three of Cups in reverse. Give me a second, guys. I actually think that this message might be for me. She said, yes, this is for you. Should I turn the camera? Nope. I will succeed. Don't stop. I will touch a lot of people, is what she says. She is talking about the hurt and the pain that I have been experiencing, the battles, the challenges that I have been fighting, that I have not even allowed myself to tell myself that I have been fighting. I just feel like I put so much pressure on myself to do so much more, that I look around at the things that I do and I've done, and I don't think it's good enough, because I look around and there's a lot of support that I feel like I lack, at least from people that I feel like should. And this has been long standing, ever since I started my first business back in 2016. I had my grand opening, and all of my old co-workers were there. My mom, her husband came, my husband's niece and her boyfriend came. None of my sister-in-laws came, of course, because they was hating. But my husband showed up, came, showed his face, spoke to me, spoke to my mom, and went back into his truck and went to sleep. And as I was working the room, I looked up looking for my husband, thinking that he was working the room. He wasn't there. Found out he was in his truck asleep. But I won't say everything, that because I don't want to be that vulnerable with you guys. But as of lately, I have been feeling like, because there is a lack of support for me, I struggle with wondering why I continue to do certain things. And the only reason I continue is because of the people that I feel like I can affect and can touch now or one day. That's the only thing that keeps me going, and Whitney is telling me also to keep going. I started a path, and it will lead me to success, so I can't turn back now. My dreams just need a practical plan. And I know exactly what she means, including the expect powerful change on the bottom. Look at the bigger picture. A new start is coming. Surrender to the divine. A personal issue reaches resolution. Take time to breathe out. And if you guys resonate with that oracle from Whitney that she sent to me, then claim it as well as all the blessings that I spoke at the beginning of this reading. Continue to be blessed this Thursday, and while you are watching this, say a quick little I love you to Whitney if you were a fan of Whitney Houston, and send her some love today, because I feel like the energy is, the veil is thin enough today for some reason for her to receive all of your love. My love is your love, and your love is my love. Have a good day, guys.